Homan also telling me that those ICE raids and arrests will continue night after night here in Los Angeles and elsewhere in the country, and that likely means more protests. And I wanted to give folks at home a sense of what we talk about when we speak of these non-lethal or less lethal rounds. This is one of those spongy rounds that's typically fired on the ground. It sprays out at the legs of protesters. This is a 40-millimeter rubber-tipped round. Now, these are designed to hurt, but they're not designed to maim or to kill protesters. George.
Okay, Matt, thanks very much.
Thank God he said that, because this, where is the clip? I can't believe Aaron Burnett actually literally said these were actually tossed by protesters at the media.
What people in the crowd have been firing at the ground. Those caused some of the explosions.
What?
Like a foam thing. You can smell the explosive on it. That causes the police to immediately respond.
That is just made, like, she's literally lying. That is the shell of the 40-millimeter rounds that they're firing into the crowds. It is insane. Ironically enough, the very same people that she's defending here ended up detaining another CNN journalist later that night. Once again, the media is so predisposed with defending the police that if she was fired upon by those things that she's pointing to, that means the cops fired it at her. But she can't say that because in her mind, it's like, no, the police are good here. Their presence are good. They're a force for good. So even when she's being fired upon by the cops, she's like, yeah, these other protesters have been doing it. Clinton News Network, dude. CNN, fake news, lying again. What's actually wild about this isn't even the fact that, like, she's lying at the behest of the cops, but she's also dropped even self-preservation at this point. Like, she's not saying don't believe your lying eyes. She's saying don't believe my lying eyes. I cannot believe she said that. Yeah, I watched the LAPD shoot these directly at the protesters and saw multiple protesters wounded by them. 0 protesters were shooting rubber bullets at the police. The notion that they're, like, actually using these and the grenade launchers, like the protesters are using these in the grenade launchers, is pure and utter fantasy. I was watching you and some other news source at the same time yesterday, literally as you and others were being shot at in the crowd. The other news sources saying the troops are pushing forward so far, no shots have been fired at the exact same time that you were getting shot at. Yeah, here, this is the CNN reporter that they detained.
CNN?
It's time to escalate.
Wait 1 second, John. Hold on.
Yeah,
I want to. Jason.
Yep.
What's going on? I hear you. Am I seeing Jason Carroll being what happened, Jason?
I am being detained. I'm being detained, Laura. I'm not being arrested. Correct, officers?
Did you hear what he told you?
No.
We're letting you go, but you can't come back.
Okay.
Because then if you come back, then you go.
Okay.
Okay, please.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, officer.
Take care. You too. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
What happened, Jason?
If you guys can still hear me, what happened was, yes.
I'm Chris with the New York Times. We got video of you guys.
Oh, you did?
If you need it later,
thank you.
call New York Times.
I appreciate that.
I can hear you still, Jason. What's happening?
So here's what happened, Laura. The officer, I was called over, and the officer told me to put my hands behind my back. I said, am I being arrested? He said, you were being detained. I was walked out of the area. They took down my information.
Oh, I'm losing his IFB right now. I can't hear you, Jason. John Miller.
Bro's thanking the officer for almost arresting him. Thank you for detaining me, officer. You're so brave.
This is one of the main government buildings in downtown LA. Earlier on, it was being guarded by police and sheriff's deputies. Then the National Guard moved in, and the real anger is being directed towards them because these people, the protesters who are filling this plaza, believe that troops have no place on the streets of LA.
National Guard, MLA!
But the president sent them anyway, he says, to restore law and order. Now he's preparing to bring in 700 Marines too. California Governor Gavin Newsom posted these pictures of soldiers sent here now sleeping on the floor, calling them pawns in Trump's political game playing. The LA mayor agrees.
We didn't need the National Guard. Why on earth? What are they going to do? Do you know what the National Guard is doing now? They are guarding 2 buildings. So they need Marines on top of it? I don't understand.
Yeah, the real reason why they're bringing this in, by the way, here's the rub. What's taking place right now in Los Angeles is not about the protests. Okay, there's a couple different reasons why they're doing this. Obviously, they want to invoke some kind of response and use Los Angeles, a obvious blue city, deep blue city, as a testing ground for implementing authoritarian principles. They are testing the reaction from the public and then using the public reaction that they created after some of these ICE raids were conducted to create just cause for military intervention. But the actual additional reason for military deployment here is not because of the protests. Everybody understands that, I hope. I hope you understand that as well. They don't want to get the Marines to shoot Los Angelinos yet. What they want to do, however, is offer military support to federal agencies like ICE when they are conducting the raids, because they know that right now everyone is on high alert. Everyone's on high alert. So if ICE were to conduct like a massive dragnet campaign like they did at the inception point of this kind of resistance, they would be met with tremendous response from the community. People would show up in massive numbers, and ICE would perhaps not be able to successfully conduct said raid. They don't have enough manpower and they're pussies. So what they want to do is use the military to defend ICE, use the federalized National Guard to defend ICE as they are conducting those operations. Because within the legal confines of LBJ deploying the National Guard to defend the protesters, I believe there were federal envoys in those protests as well. So there was just cause for the state National Guard to be deployed and become federalized, just like those federal agents, like ICE agents, are still federal agents. Those dipshits are sleeping on concrete for $30K a year while the pigs next to them are sleeping cozy with their fat union checks and pensions. I'll be so salty about being there. Yeah, but that salt actually reflects a more militant response, I think. That's what I was joking about yesterday when I was like, these guys seem really angry, and that's probably because they don't get a good night's sleep because they're sleeping on concrete, you know?
Rihanna's dad was among them. He'd lived here illegally for over 10 years.
My father got deported 2 days ago. Unfortunately, he wasn't here to celebrate my birthday. So I'm here protesting for him and two of my uncles that were deported. So I stand here today for my family to get free and get freedom for everyone else who was affected.
Everyone says LA is an immigrant city, and it is. You go to Chinese restaurants, they have Hispanic workers in the back. You know, you go to the clothing companies, they have Hispanics working. Like, this is our city, and we have to stand here and defend it.
As dusk fell, the crowds thinned. Demonstrators backed into a corner of downtown LA known as Little Tokyo. A city known for its sporting prowess, for multiculturalism and a long history of resistance movements.
You know, Bob and Brooke, earlier we were at the Apple store. We were at the Adidas store. Both.
Here we are. Here it is. There it is, dude. Ah, the vicious loading.
Both of them looted the glass.
Fuck the local news, man. I hate local news, yo.
Shattered, a lot of things stolen. And they're big companies. They'll take a hit. But it is the small, the mom and pop businesses that have also been looted that are heartbreaking. Joining me now live, Nimat, his daughter Sheila. They've been in the jewelry business, Nathan's Jewelers, since 1987 here on South Hill. And we're going to show you the shattered glass in just a moment. Nimat, I mean, you have tears in your eyes.
Yeah.
Of what they've done to your business.
What they done to my business? I don't know. I have to go inside see what's going on. I don't know what they done to business. Why these people come to downtown? They go to somewhere out of the city limit and they scream at what they want to do. Why they come here?
We also have video of other stores that were looted overnight. There were reports, Sheila, of up to 100 looters at a time at a jewelry business.
Crazy. Very crazy, very sad, very terrible.
And your dad works really hard. I'm sure you work really hard too. This is a small family-owned business and there's no insurance.
No.
Bro, they are literally, the media are such sharks. I swear to God. Look, obviously, this kind of is completely unacceptable. There are opportunists around that take advantage of like the destabilization that's taking place. Wait, they said trans looters? What?
That it is 1 week is a riot and people of the transgender or other things, and they close the business and nobody can come inside. Another day, something else. Another day, something else.
I mean this in the nicest way possible because I don't believe in a mandate to speak English in America, but I feel the conservatives would think this guy needs to be deported too. Yeah. Oh, 100%. The conservatives would then also simultaneously point to how he's transphobic as a reason for why he must be deported. Because remember, conservatives hate when like brown people exhibit the same conservatism. This lady is such a vicious little shark here, okay? You hate them, right? You hate the protesters, right? I mean, what is this doing, right? It's actually, it's illegals, right? Or it's transgenders. Wow, it's transgender illegals, actually. They're just angry that they're not getting bottom surgery after coming here from Guatemala to invade.
Senator Fetterman said that your party loses the moral high ground when you guys refuse to condemn the violence that you were seeing in LA. What do you say to Senator Fetterman?
I mean, I think we should absolutely condemn the violence of ripping apart families, of ICE breaking the law.
Excellent. That is a certified classic HasanAbi style misdirection, okay? When someone goes like, oh, you support terrorism, and you go, I don't support Israel. What are you talking about? Israel is a terrorist entity, and I don't support that terrorism. Perfect. No notes. Oh, John Fetterman condemns the violence of the protests. Do you condemn the violence? Yes, I condemn the violence of ICE ripping apart families. Yes, I think it's unimaginable. It's unique. It's cruel. It's unjustifiable violence.
We're going to work as a team to keep people safe. And again, as you pointed out, the number of bad actors proportionally are very small, but they have huge impact in the city. We're going to go after the bad actors, whether they get arrested in the last 4 days, whether they get arrested in the weeks or months to come. The advantage we have is that this is being filmed at probably a record level. We have more social media video of who is doing these bad acts than probably any other time in Los Angeles County history. So we're coming after the bad actors while still protecting the legitimate protesters.
That's such bullshit. They are not protecting the legitimate protesters. Cops on the ground make no distinction between protester, press, National Lawyers Guild, legal monitors, people who are distributing aid, field medics. They literally shoot them all. They do not care. As a matter of fact, I feel like they shoot so frequently at every single person that it almost feels as though, what the fuck is happening here, by the way? This is crazy. It feels as though, oh my God, they're actually going to do a curfew. Oh my Lord. I feel like given that we are technically press, oh, they're arresting every single person, huh? Is that what's going on? They just like completely boxed them in? HSI pointing a rifle with lethal rounds?
To the federal building, and of course the bands get things.
What is he doing?
Okay, I don't know what this gentleman here is doing, but
well, and that's
what was that?
This is on a rooftop.
That's an actual rifle. No, it's on a elevated platform, and that federal agent is pointing a rifle at somebody. That's
the guy in the yellow, I guess.
Yeah,
these two guys,
and you can see they're.
Bro, the dude in the yellow is taunting a motherfucker with a M4. That is, dude, that is crazy.
They're kind of taunting each other. You saw that federal law enforcement agent, wave his hands like, let's go, let's go. And that guy in the yellow doing the same thing. I mean, something escalated quickly to point, lethal munitions at that.
What? Dude, I hate the goddamn media, bro. The escalation is coming from the hopped up psychopath with a M4 that he's pointing at the motherfucking civilian, dude. The unarmed civilian. Are you insane? The escalation is not coming from the ground. Media, figure it the fuck out. They're taunting each other. The asymmetry that I am experiencing, that I am seeing with my own two eyes, is glaringly obvious. It is very strange to me that despite that asymmetry, the media is like, well, they're taunting one another after recognizing that that's an M4, that's lethal rounds.
Person, that was intense there for a second. So I don't know what the conflict was with that person in the yellow, but that federal agent with the rifle there was not having it. There's some fireworks now that we see going off too.
Maybe that's what that was about, but that can get even more dangerous when you're actually, we actually witnessed this. We saw him. You say that's a lethal weapon.
Yeah,
Mike.
Yes,
that's an
absolutely.
actual. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
You can see the provocation happening right here, and then
there's some more tear gas.
Yeah.
And now what we've seen, we haven't seen it here, but
You wonder if those guys have on masks. When I say those guys, the agitators.
See, there he goes again, pointing it at him.
You think the problem here is the quote unquote agitators with masks? That's you take issue with protesters wearing masks and not the mask wearing federal law enforcement agents who are brandishing and training their sights on American citizens. I assume when she says the mask wearing agitators, she means the law enforcement, right? Am I living in like upside down world? What the is happening? Is this bizarro world? Is this the alternative universe that we exist in where it's like up is down, wrong is right? Because without commentary, if you play this out on mute, without commentary, if you play this out on mute, this back and forth here, you're like, oh my God, a federal law enforcement agency officer who is masked is literally aiming a lethal weapon, an M4, directly at a Los Angeles citizen.
So I couldn't tell if that agitator did. I mean, you certainly law enforcement does. That's been kind of the name of the game for them, and that's something that they say they need to do to protect themselves and their identities. A lot of the protesters did, and I don't, John, if we can see that guy.
Oh, this is Santa Ana. Yeah, this is in Santa Ana. This is not downtown. Well, regardless, it's insane. Like, what are the things that take precedent over human beings' lives at this point? Police feelings, police getting hit with like half-empty water bottles, police getting hit with any water at all, police being spooked by loud noises.
Mark, this is all about optics. I've been thinking this for the last 72 hours, and it's become more and more obvious that the optics here are really the priority for all of these different agencies, our local departments, again, the higher ranks all the way up to the politicians. It's very apparent that they are in place and ready to take action to avoid some of the ugliest pictures that have been coming out in the overnight hours and earlier over the weekend.
New video just into out front of a car in Chicago moving through a protest. It appeared to push a few.
This happened yesterday as well. We filmed this in LA
sign
too.
Holders there in the protest in Chicago before then speeding away. So unclear exactly what we were seeing there. Also, large protests underway in New York City, protesting Trump's deportations and the use of ICE officers with those ICE raids.
My worry is that there's going to be counter protesters. There's immediately in New York, there's counter protesters. This reminds me of that one kid who in New York, there were a bunch of people who were protesting outside of an ICE facility in New York. And this kid walked up to them and started talking to them about Palestine and And the guys were like, what the are you talking about, man? This is an ICE facility. We're protesting ICE kidnappings. And he's like, I don't know. I saw people with keffiyehs. So I got excited. And of course, there they are, the counter protesters. The optics of different flags, man. The optics of foreign flags.
With parts of LA under curfew, 700 Marines to be deployed on Wednesday, Texas now sending in their National Guard, and more protests planned over the coming days. This is a crucial moment in Donald Trump's second term. It is a test of his presidential power and his mandate, and whether Republicans or Democrats win this argument about immigration, law and order, and democracy.
To some extent, people do like to see some action happening. They're glad to see an activist president after what we've had for the last several years. Does he have a tendency to take that too far? Absolutely.
These guys drop the ball, Channel 4, when it comes to American politics so hard, it blows my mind. Why are you asking a Republican advisor about Trump's actions? Yes, he's a Liverpool fan. Great. It's so stupid. Like, yeah, of course he's gonna be like, yeah, he sometimes gets a little heavy-handed, but his fascist takeover is actually really popular. It's not. It's not popular at all.
I am convinced that if Donald